hoping I can make this video without laughing, right? But when you wake up from the Jehovah Witness religion, right, and you look back at everything, all those silly doctrines, right, all the things that you believed in, right, all the things you used to do, when you look back on it, it's quite comical. It really is, right? So this video is about how Jehovah's Witnesses are obsessed with titles. Sorry, but this video is why are Jehovah's Witnesses obsessed with titles? Why, right? Auxiliary pioneer, regular pioneer, special pioneer, ministerial servant, elder, CO, and I think back in the day they used to have the district overseer, right? And of course, you got the higher ups, the governing body leaders. People are obsessed with titles. Now, I remember back in the day, and even back then, I was somewhat awake to, I was wondering, why are they treating this person better? Aren't we all equal in God's eyes, right? So I remember back in the day, when the CEO used to visit, oh my God, the elders, they would make sure, it was like they were scared of them. The elders were scared of the circuit overseer. The elders would wear their best ties, right? I would see them right before the meeting. They were getting their tie ready, making sure they look the part. The sisters would wear their best dresses. After the CEO gave his talk, before and after, people would flock to him like he was Jesus Christ. People would flock to the CO like he was Jehovah, like he was God, right? Lining up to shake his hand. And I said to myself, don't get me wrong, he gave pretty good talks, but at the end of the day, he is just a mere human being. He shit, eats, breathes, farts, the whole nine, just like everybody else. But yet, these witnesses were so obsessed with the title, circuit overseer. You see, like I said, when you take a step back, right? When you take a step back and you see the organization for what it is, these people, these witnesses are obsessed with titles. I remember when I was on Instagram, right? This is back in the day when Instagram started. This is some years ago, several years ago, right? But when Instagram first started, there was I joined a JW group on Instagram, right? And somebody posted, "Oh, what are your guys' spiritual goals? What was your spiritual goals, right?" And one by one, people were listening to things. Oh, I want to be a pioneer. I want to be an auxiliary pioneer. I want to be an MS, right? So one brother took things to the extreme, right? And he goes on, and by his post, I can tell he was trying to impress some sisters that was on that page. I was on that Instagram Jehovah's Witness page, right? So he goes, in a few years' time, I want to be a pioneer. Then 5 years from now, I want to be a minister servant. And then hopefully 10 years from now, I can be an elder, right? And I'm looking at his post. I'm looking at that comment, right? And I said to myself, Jehovah's Witnesses, and even back then, I was still somewhat awake because I never cared about titles. Even when I was a devout, indoctrinated Jehovah's Witness, I never cared about titles. I never wanted to be an MS or an elder because that doesn't make you a better person. It's just a title. That's all it is, a title, right? So when I saw that comment that brother gave, right, he left on Instagram, I said to myself, he's listing all these spiritual achievements that he want to, all these spiritual things that he want to achieve, right? But not one, out of all those posts, out of all those comments, not one time did I see someone say, I want to be a better person. I want to be more forgiving. I want to be more loving. You see, you ask a Jehovah's Witness, what are your spiritual goals, right? Now, to be more loving, more forgiving, more compassionate, more kind, that still is in the realm of spirituality, right? Because if you believe in God and Jesus Christ, you would want to be a better person, right? Compassion, kindness, forgiving, all that is still in the spiritual realm of things, right? So you could say, oh, one of my spiritual goals, I want to be an all-around better person. I want to mimic Jesus Christ. How's that? I've never heard a Jehovah's Witness say, if you were to ask a Jehovah's Witness, what's your spiritual goals? They were going to say, I want to be a pioneer, a regular pioneer, special pioneer, a MS, elder, right? They're going to say all these things that makes no sense, that means nothing, right? Those titles mean nothing. But you would never hear you would never hear a Jehovah's Witness say, I want to be more like Jesus Christ. I want to be an all-around better person, loving person, compassionate. You will never hear Jehovah's Witness say that. But yet, they were obsessed over titles that mean jack shit. These titles mean nothing. It's like I said, it's comical. When you think about it, it's comical. All these titles mean nothing. People will look up to elders, right? And when I got the fellowship a few years ago, right? Now, right before I got the fellowship, I was telling all my Jehovah's Witness family and friends, I said to them, guys, listen. I said, I know how this works. We're supposed to confess our sins to the elders, and they're supposed to come up with a decision from God's Holy Spirit, right? And I kept telling all my family and friends, I said, listen, I don't deserve this. This is not right. I said, these elders, this one particular elder, he's taken advantage. He doesn't like me for whatever reason, and he's the fellowship. He's falsely disfellowshipping me. I told him this. And half of them were like, you know what? Well, they're the elders. They prayed about it. You know, we got to follow them. They're the elders, so they got to be right. And I said to myself, over a title, they're right because they have that title. That makes them right. Just because they bear the title, an elder, that makes them better than me. That means that God is going to listen to their prayers over mine because they bear a title. They're imperfect, just like me. How is it that they can't be wrong? But see, Jehovah's Witnesses are obsessed. They are obsessed with any title. Now, when it comes to dating, right? A sister is more inclined to date an MS, a minister servant, or an elder, right? If you're just a regular publisher, and maybe if she's just a regular publisher, then, you know, she may pursue you. But if she's a pioneer, and you're just a regular publisher, you're not doing much in the organization, she's not going to look at you. But you become a minister servant or an elder. Oh, girl, I got me a good one, right? Like, they care about a title. Like, that makes you a better person. And not one time, like I said, not one time have I heard a witness say, my spiritual goal is to be more compassionate, more kind. I want to mimic Jesus Christ. This organization is all about impressing your peers, right? And let's be honest, a lot of times when they elevate to a position of entitlement, right? When they get that position, it's not because they want to be more spiritual minded. 9 times out of 10, they're doing it for some type of, I want to say gratification, but they're doing it to impress people, right? They're not doing it because they want to genuinely be an MS or an elder, right? They're doing it because they want that title. They want people to look up to them. They want to be important. They want to be a somebody, right? That's why they elevate and become pioneers or special pioneers, MS elders. That's why they want those titles, because they want some type of importance in the organization. And when it comes to just a regular publisher, right? When it comes to the everyday witness, I find this, like I said, when you take a step back, right? When you leave the organization and you see it for what it is beyond comical. It's beyond comical, right? Now, when it comes to the everyday rank and file Jehovah's Witness, they won't even talk to you if you don't bear the title Jehovah's Witness. If you don't identify as a Jehovah's Witness, if you're not baptized as a Jehovah's Witness, you could be going to the meetings, right? But you don't want to get baptized. They can see you every week. But like I said, if you don't bear the title Jehovah's Witness, if you don't claim to be a Jehovah's Witness, people are not going to associate with you. They're not going to be bothered with you. Let me see you at the meetings. Hey, how you doing? Yeah. But outside the Christian congregation, you're a nobody to them because you don't bear the title. Now, when I woke up, right? You guys know my story already. There was a 2 to 3 week period where I was reinstated, right? And before I came out as apostate, right? So I was speaking to my Jehovah's Witness family and friends that I haven't spoken to in the last 2 years, right? Because I was in fellowship for 2 years. But and there was a sister, right? There was a sister that I was interested in some months ago. Now, when I got reinstated, and this is what, 6 months ago, right? When I got reinstated, right, I contacted her because she hit me up when I was the fellowship. She hit me up when I was the fellowship. Hey, and I haven't spoken to this sister in years, right? She hits me up out of nowhere. Hey, you've been on my mind. I'm thinking about you. I would like to pursue something with you. And by the way, she's overseas in Australia, right? So, she hits me up. Hey, I want to, you've been on my mind. Let's try to pursue something. I tell her, so listen, I'm the fellowship right now, right? I'm the fellowship right now. And I didn't want to tell her too much, but I was at the fellowship and awake. I don't want to tell her I was woke to the organization and the fellowship, right? But I told her, listen, I'm the fellowship. I'm having some doubts, but I am planning on being reinstated soon. I'll let you know, right? And she goes, oh yeah, please let me know because I really want to pursue something with you. Me and you had a true connection when we met back in the day, and you've been on my mind lately, right? She says this to me, right? So I get reinstated. I had her up. I get reinstated. I hit her up. I say, listen, I'm reinstated, but I got to tell you, I'm not going to identify as a Jehovah's Witness pretty soon. Pretty soon I'm going to either become inactive again or I'm going to disassociate. And I said, however, you hit me up. You told me we had a true connection. You told me you really liked me, right? You told me you want to establish a relationship with me, right? So if you truly had genuine feelings for me, then me not being a witness, me disassociating shouldn't matter. We should still be able to work this out, right? Right away, she goes, oh, if you don't want to be a witness, then we can't be together. We can't be together. Because I no longer wanted to bear the title of being a Jehovah's Witness. That sister did not want to pursue a relationship with me because of a title. And I told her, I said, hold on, I'm still a good-hearted person. I'm still the same person that you knew before, but now I'm even better. I'm better because Jehovah's Witnesses, you guys only love your own kind. I have love for everybody on this planet. So therefore, I said, technically, wouldn't you want to be with somebody who shows love to everybody and not just a few selected people, group on this earth? She had nothing to say. Right? So, like I said, when it comes to Jehovah's Witnesses, they are obsessed with titles. One way or another, when it comes to the people you associate with, right? You got to bear that name because they only hang out with other Jehovah's Witnesses. If you're an outsider, if you're not a Jehovah's Witness, you could be the nicest person on planet Earth. You could be the nicest person that they ever met. But you don't bear the title Jehovah's Witness. If you don't claim to be a Jehovah's Witness, they won't even associate with you. You see how much... You see how important titles are to witnesses? You could be a cruel, unloving, haughty Jehovah's Witness. They would rather hang out with that person than someone who's extremely loving, extremely kind, someone who has a beautiful soul, but that they're not a witness, right? A Jehovah's Witness would rather hang out with someone who's cruel, who bears the title as a Jehovah's Witness, than someone who's loving, who's not a witness. All because of a damn title. Because of a title. It makes no sense when you think about it. It makes no sense. You should be associating with people based on their heart condition, because they are a good-hearted person, because they're kind, because they're compassionate, because they care about people. That is why you should be with somebody and associate with people based on their heart condition, not based on no damn title, because they are a Jehovah's Witness, because they are a minister servant, an elder, a pioneer, a special pioneer, a CEO. I'm surprised I was able to make this video without laughing, because when I was thinking about this, right, I was cracking up nonstop how silly it is. How silly Jehovah's Witnesses care so much about a title. A title that means nothing. A title that you can't even find these words in the Bible. The only word that you can find in the Bible is elders in terms of titles, right? In terms of titles. But if you are a Jehovah's Witness watching this, right? Ask yourself, why are these titles so important? Did Jesus care about titles? The last time I checked, Jesus loved everybody. Sorry, I felt a burp coming up. Jesus associated with everybody. Jesus healed everybody. Imagine if someone was going to Jesus and they had, I think, leprosy back in the day, right? But imagine someone going to Jesus and they were extremely ill and sick, right? And they said to Jesus, please heal me, Jesus. Please, right? I was about to say, please, Mama, please. But please, Jesus, heal me, please, Jesus, right? And right away, Jesus goes, whoa, 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 whoa. But before I heal you, are you going to be a follower of Christ? Are you going to be my follower? Are you going to worship me? Because I only heal people. That bear the title worshipers of Christ, right? I only heal people that want to worship me, that want to serve me. So if you're not going to worship me, I'm not going to heal you. Did Jesus do that? No. Did Jesus disassociate himself from people who didn't want to be people who didn't follow him, right? He ate with tax collectors and he washed the feet of prostitutes. I'm going to say that again. Jesus ate with tax collectors and washed the feet of prostitutes, right? So if you are a Jehovah's Witness watching this, and your leaders are telling you, don't associate with people who aren't Jehovah's Witnesses, my question to you is, and this is a rhetorical question, why are you listening to 9 men? 9 men. When Jesus Christ clearly showed you that you shouldn't have to worry about these titles, because these titles are barriers. These titles divide people. They split up families. Why are you listening to 9 men when you should be mimicking Jesus Christ? And instead of being obsessed about titles, how about show true, genuine love to everybody on this planet? I'll see you guys on the next video.